Hey guys, a little bit of a confession to make. I'm not as diligent on maybe changing my brake fluid as I am some other periodic maintenance items like changing your oil or cleaning your air filter. The brake system is a little intimidating. It can be kind of hard to understand what all is going on with it, and it's sort of a critical component. You know, if you don't have brakes, you can't stop. And so that's always sort of bugged me out about it. But the other thing is this Vulcan is old. It's sat a lot more than my other motorcycles have. So I'm more apt to keep the maintenance up on those more than I am this one that sits. So today we're going to go ahead and go through and flush the brake system. As you can see, I got a little bit of the flushing done already. This is terrible. You should never let your brake system get this bad. It's disgusting looking. Who knows what? There's all kinds of junk in it. So we're going to flush that through. Keep on flushing it. Get all the air out. If you know a little bit about brake systems, that's good. You know that air is not good in a brake line because air is infinitely compressible, and hydraulic, which is the fluid that goes through here, is non-compressible, and you want non-compressible liquid in here because if you have air in there, you're not going to have braking power. You'll feel your clutch lever either get spongy or it won't work at all. There would be no pressure in the lines. So we're going to bleed all the air out while we're flushing all the fluid through. I'm upgrading to DOT4 brake fluid because DOT3 is a little outdated. It's a little harder to find. It does say DOT3 on the cap, but my user manual says that I can switch between DOT3 or DOT4, and it shouldn't be a problem. The only thing is that you want to completely flush the old fluid out by adding this to the reservoir and bleeding it through. But always check your user manual. Check to see what the brake fluid that's right for your bike is, and just go from there. You have your reservoir up top, and you'll undo the screws of it and then pull this off. You got your cap and diaphragm, and you look in there and you'll see fluid. Okay, you want to keep this completely topped off during the brake flushing process, because if any air is allowed into the lines, you're sort of just going backwards. Okay, so don't let any air get into the brake lines by keeping this topped off. So that means you'll squeeze this lever a few times, and then check this, make sure that it's still full. So you'll just keep adding, squeezing, bleeding it all through until it finally makes it. You want to put rags across your gas tank because this brake fluid will eat your paint. So you have to worry about that. Make sure everything is covered and that you're not going to get any brake fluid on your paint. Another thing is with this master cylinder, when you top it off, you want to make sure to replace the cap firmly on there, because as you're pushing this brake lever, it's going to spurt fluid through. That pressure will cause the fluid to jump out of there, so you want to keep it capped while you're doing this. Come down here, and you'll need a 10mm wrench for the bleeder valve, which is right here. You put a clear vinyl hosing on it so that you can see the fluid that's coming through that line. And then, you know, if you have a water bottle, that'll work. You can cut a hole into the top and bleed it out that way. Or you can, you know, buy a $10 little bleeder. That's a little bit more convenient. It's got a magnet on it. You can clip it to your the metal part on your wheel or wherever is convenient, and then bleed it through. So okay, so now you want to start with the line that is furthest away from the master cylinder. okay, and get all of the air out of that one first. If you're just flushing it, you still start with that. And then after it starts running clear over here, then go over to the other side. This Vulcan has twin caliper systems and single piston calipers. So you've got two lines going to do two different calipers. You always bleed the one furthest away from the master first, and then go over here and bleed that one. But so you first, you're going to have to lean over the motorcycle. Just be careful of everything. But you push the lever in, pressurize the line, open the valve, and let it through. Close the valve, and release. And you do that again. Just keep doing that. Push the valve, or you push the brake lever, open the valve, close the valve, release. Pressurize the line, open the valve, close the valve, then release. And you can see an air bubble right there that just came out. You just keep doing that until the line runs clear and you've got all the air out of it. I've pressed the lever a couple times and bled some through, and you can see that it has gone down a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and top it off. Be careful, don't spill it everywhere like I'm doing. And also don't fill it completely to the brim, because as soon as you put that cap back on, it's just going to drip out of there. So be very careful about that and just fill just as much as you need. And that's basically it. After you get the valves closed, you want to feel the brake lever, make sure that it's stiff and it's good, and you should have a well-run brake system. So you guys can tell that this is a lot clearer than this over here, and that's exactly how you want it. You want it to come out nice and clear and free of air bubbles. So I hope this little demonstration helped you guys. Feel free to comment and let me know any of your thoughts.